time for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Rigs and Techniques, and here at the CCA Workbench. And you know what, Dave? We had to bring in our center console specialist.
Correct.
Captain Ridge Murphy. What are you guys talking about tonight? I'm just here for the support.
Well, you know, a lot of our fellas here are trying to go out and try to catch blue marlins on a center console, and it's a little different than trying to do it on a big, you know, twin screw boat with a big transom. So there's little tricks and techniques that you need to use when you're on a center console because of the boat you're on. So Ridge gets to do some of that over there in the Bahamas on that big 39-foot contender. So he's going to share some of the little problems that he comes across and how he solves them. And what's the main disadvantage about fishing on the center console boat?
You know, probably the first thing you could think of is, one, you have a wash, much bigger wash, and two, you don't have the elevation.
Right.
And so with that, you got to kind of use the space that you're given.
And when you're talking about elevation, he's talking about on a big convertible boat, we have a fly bridge, and we can look down into the water and see these marlin when they come into the spread. And if you can see the fish before it comes up and eats something, your chances of catching it go way up because the angler is sitting there ready and waiting for the bite instead of having him bite and then running to the rod.
Absolutely.
So what do you do to counteract that sort of thing?
So what we do is we pull a lot of lures. We pull 5 hooks and we pull 4 teasers.
Okay, so you got 9 baits, nine things in the water behind the boat.
A lot of stuff in the water.
Right.
And so we pulled two longs. We pulled the Andy Moy lure, J-Boys, and plungers on our shorts. But we do pull a lot of teasers, but lower profile teasers. We still get to pull the mud flaps, but Hooker Electric makes this one that we use. And the reason why is because it's collapsible.
Right.
This will fit in the live well, and it's just
center
out of the
console
way.
boat, you don't have a lot of storage, and this kind of thing can just go right away. I know also that you also said that you use this big, long teaser rod, and I imagine that is to...
What that does is it keeps it out of the wash.
Right.
But it still allows us to have our short halyard.
I gotcha.
That's outside the wash, but inside the short. Because a lot of times what happens is we don't see them until after they're already coming off the squids, and the ultimate goal is to tease them to the boat and pitch to them. But a lot of times he peels off and eats that short bait before we can even get to him. So we take advantage of that.
How far out this sits, Dave, in the gunnel in a rod holder.
Yeah, it's an 8 foot. I think it's like an 8 foot
way
rod
outside. That's pretty awesome that they got that invented.
Well, what it does is now you've got another outrigger. Kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And down low to the water.
Right, and what you don't lose is you don't lose another position on your halyard, so you can still keep a bait out without using a halyard ring to run a teaser through, which you have to do on a convertible boat because the captain usually operates that from upstairs.
And on the rough days, a lot of times, if you have your squids out with the shorts, they're going to get wrapped up.
Right.
So you got to take advantage of the little space that you do have.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot, that's for sure. Now you'll pull a bowling pin teasers as well.
We pull our bowling pins, and some guys that have electrics like we do. We put these in the corner on a 45, and so that keeps it out of the wash.
Right.
But some guys that don't have the LPs or the rods cleat them off.
Yeah.
With the manpower, you can pull them in.
Right, and these things look just like a school of tunas behind the boat. And you know, when I first started marlin fishing in '92 or something like that, these were all the rage, and then they all went away. You know, nobody was pulling the bowling pins for a while. If you were in St. Thomas and you didn't have a set of bowling pins out, you weren't doing it right. And they went away for a long time when the dredges came. But guess what? Blue marlins didn't change. They will still come and try to eat.
They're definitely getting whacked too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
see there, he's all scarred up. They want to come and eat those things no matter what. Now, what you said you had you were pulling the Andy Moy's lures. Is there any reason why you like Andy stuff versus other ones? Or?
They pull straight, and that's what Coop likes to pull, so that's what we pull. And not only that, it's kind of hard to want to go against what we know gets bit.
Yeah,
you know,
well, Andy,
when you're getting three bites
you look at Andy's lures, you're pretty much pulling a little work of art when you're using Andy's stuff. Anyway, they're really nice. If you ever want to go get you a set of blue marlin lures, you can't really go wrong with Andy. But you know, Andy probably won't like to hear me say this, but you know, a lot of these lures, you know, if you pull just about any lure in front of a blue marlin's face and he's ready to eat, he's gonna eat it. It's like a kitten, you know. You can put a diamond ring on the end of the string and drag it past the kitten, he's gonna swat at it. If you put a regular old blue bead on the end of the string, he's gonna be just as enthusiastic about eating that bait.
Absolutely.
Most marlins really don't care what color that thing is. They don't care what wave it's sitting on. That's another thing those us lure guys like to tell you. We got to have that thing on this. It's got to be on this face, or it's not going to work. I tell you what, if you drag a good lure over a blue marlin at 7 knots, he's going to want to eat it. So.
You know what? I think back to that kitten. I think it's the pink fur balls. What they?
Oh, they really like the pink fur ball.
What about you, Brie? You
Oh
like
my
the pink
goodness.
fur ball?
Well, I learned a lot. You guys ready to go catch a marlin over here? Oh yeah, we all learned a lot, and Rick did too.